Gonna share the link. Alrighty. Give me a moment, folks. You'll notice I did not shave in a while, so the developer beard. It's a classic tradition. When you're hacking away at the code, you forget about certain things.
Is that every developer has to have beard?
It's I mean it's very common. It's very common. You just forget. You wear the same t-shirt, you don't shave.
Hopefully you do bathe though.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, there's also that like mindset where like, you have the same, I guess, same type of clothes. You don't have to think about what you're gonna put on, all that stuff,
Yeah,
right? So I subscribe to that, right? I'm like, I don't care. Just like I just need to get in front of my computer and code, look
right.
at the charts, right?
I'm not a coder, but I have the same attitude.
Let's see here. Okay, so I think I gotta share this. Give me 1 second. Sorry, sorry for the neck beard, folks. Fix it up later. Boy. Alrighty. Yeah, pretty exciting Monday morning and I guess evening for some folks. Let's see here. Drop it in here. We've got some big updates coming all week long. I'll say I can't wait to have the automation turned back on. Alrighty, let's see here. People are joining in. That's good. Oh no. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Alrighty, well, you know what? I'm not even gonna like talk too much or anything like that. Everyone knows we got the white paper is up. We're gonna be hooking up the wallet this week, as well as some of the portal functions. Those are gonna be released in drip phases, right? So we're just gonna like release one feature after another, iterate, reiterate, re-release, test, and keep going. The That's the process. So yeah, without any more things from my end, other than if you were tuning into SP this morning and last night, or for Sydney Tokyo overlap and for the London, my apologies. I actually started the wrong stream. I started the New York 2 stream, which is things happen. But yeah, so that was the London stream. He'll be back later on at 9:30, so in just an hour and a half, just under that, for his New York part two. Of course, here with IT Trader, Smart Money ICT Trader, amazing person, amazing trader and researcher, market researcher, analyst. He was back testing all weekend, doing cool stuff. Anyways, I'll pass it over to you, IT.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Can you hear me properly?
Yep, yep.
Okay, cool. Um, let's start with our usual dollar. Let's go over here and start with dollar index. Okay, so
I
last
uh
week,
I hate to cut you off. Your chart's not up.
my chart is not up. Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's what she.
Is it up now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Sometimes my brain works faster than my head.
I can
My
relate.
eyes, sorry. My eyes was deceiving me. Anyway, all right. So last week we wanted to see price trade above 109.53 and then head towards 11043. That's still the objective. So we're expecting price to go to this level 110.43. Now, if they can reach that level, um, I think they might probably even go above this high here, which is, let me find the actual number, 110.99. So we can call it 111. So that 111 level. Once we reach the 110.43 level, we could also go a little bit higher to 111. Okay, so bear that in mind. Now, I'm gonna say this: stick with this side, this upside, right, until it changes, because smart money has got more money than you do or than I do. In future, we will have more than they do, but for now, they have more than we do. So you cannot turn the market around, right? So don't try to be the first person to sell the dollar index or be the first person to buy the majors, because if you do that, you're just asking for trouble. Okay, now I like the way it's going up because I've just taught you something over the course of the last 2 weeks, that when the market is going one direction, right, up or down, and the candles are all blue, then it's a sign of something is happening, right? Smart money is actually, or institutions are actually selling rather than buying. Now we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, today or tomorrow should print a down candle, right? Today or tomorrow should print a down candle and then resume going higher. If we do not have today print a down candle, or tomorrow, maximum by tomorrow, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days, that's enough, because 5 days, it's basically 1 week, one full candle week. So that's how much high the daily can go in one direction if we don't have any sort of weird news going on out there. Then maximum 5 up candles is enough, and then they will print a down candle to reaccumulate, right? So tomorrow should be a down candle and then resume going higher. If tomorrow also ends up as an up candle, then all this move to the upside, to me, is manipulation, and we should be getting ready for a potential reversal, right? So bear that in mind for dollar index, that today should be an up candle. We should be closing above Friday's high, and then tomorrow potentially being a rejection. Maybe that rejection might come back down and then continue going up, which will be very good for a like a sustainable uptrend, as we can see right now. But if we don't get that, then we might be the institutions might be selling rather than buying in this whole move to the upside. Now, it could be the case because of how clean these equal lows looks like. So if you look down here, they've left some clean equal lows, which most of the time that's what they will do. They will engineer it and then they'll come back for it. So if we do get a reversal, if we don't get the down candle and we continue going higher, as soon as we get a reversal, we will be looking for price to come and attack all these lows in here. Okay, so for now, we are looking at 111.43 as our next upside objective. And I think pretty much last week, I also gave another, I think, I won't call it secret because it's out there already. The institutional price levels, right? Once we trade and close above a full figure, then price will reach for the next full figure. So if I put the institutional levels here, you can see that we are now at 110. Okay, so if we can close above the 110, then we will be reaching for 111. And you can see, if you want to understand price, study history, study the history of price. You went above the 11109. Now we are at 110. If you go above 110, then we'll be aiming for 111. Okay. So if you can, study price like that, you will see a lot of benefits in it. So yeah, that's why we're gonna continue aiming for higher prices. With euro, I think last week I mentioned that they will reach for the 1101 level. If I'm not mistaken, let me draw the line properly. Was this candle's high? Yeah, which is, give me 1 second. I want to find the actual price level. Price is trading there, so it's kind of not showing me exactly what that level is, but this level here is 1.02. That's it. So last week I gave you that as the downside objective. Now, if we close through that, then we will reach for the mid figure. The mid figure will be 1.0150. Okay. So if today closes down below previous week low, then we will be aiming for 1.0150. So continuation to the downside, right? So keep aiming lower. Do not look for a buy, because if you do, you're just going to struggle. Price is going down. Follow the money. The money is to the downside right now. And when it reverses, then you reverse. So yeah, our downside objective currently is 1.0150 and then 1.0100. That's for euro. British pound, I think that also went to that level and beyond. That was 1.2150. And now you can see they did hit the 1.2100 level. Now, maybe a pause here and then a continuation to the downside. And these lows look too clean, in my opinion. So they might be coming for it. This is where maybe they might struggle to continue going lower. So this institutional level, 1.2, that will be a full figure, like a big, 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 big figure, right? That will be where we might get like a decent pullback. For the time being, I'll call it a pullback, not a reversal, but it'll be a pullback because we are going lower. So watch the 1.2000 or 1.2 level. We did get a big move away from that area, and we had a lot of consolidation or movement to the downside, taking out a low, and then we broke above this high. So I think pretty much that's where they probably will take price, and then we will get a big rejection. So British pound, look for a continuation to the downside. Okay, so next downside objective, I think we'll go for 1.2. You can aim for the 1.2050 level. which is the red line here. So 1.2050 level. You can aim for that for now, and then maybe look for more profits to the downside to get to 1.2. Okay. So yeah, we are still bearish on the majors. Aussie, they finally cleaned that low. I think we talked about it. And we are below the 0.6200 level. So the next downside objective will be 0.6100. Okay, so look for continuation to the downside on the Australian dollar. We are looking for price to come here. There's a small fair value gap right close to it. Here. There's a small fair value gap right close to it. So they might dip into it and then hit that full figure. Okay, so Australian dollar, look for continuation to the downside. In terms of entries, now let me talk just a little bit about entries. When we are bearish, okay, any pullback to an up candle or a run above a high, you sell. Okay, all you need to do is have a place where your stop loss, I'll say, place your stop loss a little bit away from where price is. Now you can use, in this big downtrend like this, you can use previous days highs, because when they are dropping, most of the time price will struggle to even go above a previous day's high. Okay, so you can leave your stop above a previous day's high and then continue going lower. Or there is a technique that ICT taught a very long time ago, where you wait for the market to open, and wherever it opens at London, 5 a.m. GMT. Okay, so it's 5 a.m. GMT or 00 EST, midnight EST. You wait for price to open that specific time, and then give yourself a 30 pip from the opening price. So if it opens at, I don't know, let's look at Aussie, and let me turn on my opening price. So if this is my opening price, right, that's the 5 a.m. GMT or 00 midnight EST. So that specific price, you give yourself 30 pips away from it. So 30 pips will be roughly here, right? And then you keep your stop loss there, and then you look for continuation to the downside. Or, like I said, when it opens, find an up candle, price to move down, sell at that level, and then give yourself again 30 pips or 15 pips, depends, and then look for the continuation to the downside. So all the levels that I'm giving in terms of downside objective, that's how you can get in. Okay, very, very simple. Or look for something like this: an impulse leg, a pullback to OTE, and then a continuation to the downside, either on the 1 hour, on the M15, whichever time frame you feel comfortable using, and you use that, right? But when the portal opens, we'll talk more about entries, because there are more entry techniques that you can apply. So look for continuation to the downside on the Aussie. Let me turn this back on. 0.6100. That's our next downside objective. New Zealand, our next downside objective will be 0.5000. Okay. They have gone for the mid figure. I think we spoke about it last week. So we'll be aiming for the full figure. I think they will eventually take out this low. Looking at how dollar index is trading, it will continue going lower. So they might take out this low as well. So 0.5500, that's our next downside objective. And the fact that they just run this high and then rejected, we can also use those projections, right? As I just recently taught. And then use the 2, right? The 2 is way below the 0.500 level. So you know that they will reach it. if they don't, they will actually reach the 1.618 extension level, and that will give you very close to, again, that 0.50. So they will eventually reach it. So watch out for continuation to the downside, and um, you can apply the entry techniques that I've just given. I'm gonna suggest, I think, which pair? Okay, Aussie, Euro Aussie as a cross pair, yeah, a cross pair trade for this week. Um, we're looking for a run for this low here. Okay. When it comes to the crosses, I don't use um, the institutional levels much because, based on experience, they don't work really well like they do on the majors. So I don't use the institutional pricing levels on the crosses much, but it does still work the same way. Just don't have high hopes. It does work very, very well on the majors, really, really well on the majors. But when it comes to the crosses, sometimes they do play along. They play a lot. They play a lot on that pair. So just be mindful if you're using it on the crosses. But for this week, I'm gonna suggest Euro Aussie for a continuation to the downside to attack this low. Okay, on the weekly, you'll see why. All this up candle was just a pullback. So we are expecting them to come and attack this week's low, which is not last week, the week before. I think that's where they're going to go. So if you like trading the crosses, I think you can aim for this low as a target. And I think, okay, there was another one. I think it was Euro New Zealand. Yeah, and Euro New Zealand. So Euro New Zealand is also the same thing. I'm expecting them to go and attack this low and that low. They look too clean on the lower time frame. It's just too clean. I don't think they're going to leave that, and I don't think they're going up here based on this move here. So this was actually an optimal trade entry. OTE price came to 70.5, perfect level, and then a rejection. Now, right here, okay, you can see this move. Okay, that's the move, the signature that run up. At the time, many traders will get caught up in price going higher. But if you understand, based on what I was speaking about last week, this was just a pullback. So that big run, that is the last one that they draws a lot of buyers in the market, and then they'll go against them. Okay, so when you understand it, and we'll talk about, I think, cryptos very soon, that big run up, when you see that happening and you're expecting a reversal, as soon as that one stops, you start looking for the reversal to happen. Okay, so since they've broken this now becomes a breaker, and we're expecting lower prices. And you can project this also as well for downside objectives, which brings us very close to taking out this low and that low. So Euro New Zealand this week, Euro New Zealand and Euro Aussie, you're looking for a continuation to the downside. I think, let me see if I can give a preference between those two. Preferably the Euro Aussie, because I can see this one has a probability of going higher to attack this high. So that would be strength for Aussie. So Euro Aussie, but both of them will eventually do it. So it's entirely up to you, especially if today closes as it is, then you're looking for a continuation to the downside. All right. So that is that for, I've given you extra for this week. You're welcome. Okay, let's look
Thank
at
you.
gold. That was just me being sarcastic. Um, I'm just learning from my mentor, ICT. Okay, so gold. I think last week I mentioned that um, we are looking for them to trade in here, this gap, and then we will see what they're going to do. If they were able to close above it, then we could have aimed for this high, but it looks like it's rejecting. So I'll treat it similar to how I treated last week, right? So last week Monday open, it dropped down into the range, and then I bought it up. Okay, and I think I took my profit exactly here. This week is doing kind of the same. Monday is dropping. I would like to see a bit more. So maybe tomorrow being a down candle as well to trade into discount relative to this range. And again, last week I mentioned that's the best type of trading you want to do. You want to always trade inside a range, because when you're trading inside a range, price is limited, price is actually boxed. So it can't do too much. It's like you've caged price, right? So it can either go up or down. But since it's bullish, then you look for the up rather. Okay? So if we can drop down somewhere in here, like exactly this level, 618. So if we go down to the H4, yeah, I like exactly 618. So if we can get to 618, that would be a very good area to consider continuation to the upside. And when you do get that, which I'll be here, we will aim for, I think they've already touched this level. Yeah, we will aim for this high, which is the OT high, and then we will look for this candle's low as an upside objective as well. Okay, so as we are coming down, look for a buy at OTE. I like the way it's coming down. Remember, when people are fearful, you will be greedy. Okay, we buy when it's going down inside a range like this, not when it's dropping like that. We don't buy it like that. We buy when it's inside a range and it's dropping. That's when you buy. Not like euro. Euro is just dropping. Okay, so we don't buy that one. But when it's dropping inside a range, that's when you buy. Okay, so as it's coming down, you want to buy somewhere in here and then aim for this high. And we don't want them to lose this low. Okay, that is last week's low. We don't want them to lose that. If we lose that, then we will be aiming for these lows, and probably we will come for this low as well. If we lose, let me give the level. So if we lose 2.624.6, then we will be aiming for this low, because this range is still intact. This high and this low is still intact. That's the bigger range, right? And all of this is basically, as I spoke about last week, is called complex pullback. That's all price is doing, right? So we could still go up here and still be valid to come down here. However, right now we're just inside a range here, so we take it that one. Okay, and you can look for continuation to come and take out it. But if we lose this low, the 2.624, then I don't think this will be a buy. They will aim for that low. Okay, which getting to February, that's what it does. February always makes a seasonal low on gold, so maybe they can do that. Who knows? Let's see how the week will treat us. So we'll take it one day at a time. Okay, so as it stands, you're bullish on gold, not completely bullish, but for this week, you're looking for a buy. Okay, upside objective is 2.735.2 and then 2.743.5. And our mental stop loss is 2.624.6. All right, let's go for crude oil. Amazing crude oil went for the high, right? We spoke about it last week. that once they've traded through this, then it will aim for that high. And once we do, then we'll be aiming for 84 and then 87. So your gas bills is about to get expensive. It's winter time. Anyway, actually, there's a short-term high in here that we need to mark. And that is also going to be like a target as well. So 80.15, you need to pay attention to that as well before the 84.52. Now, I would want to see price sustain this high. I don't want to see the rejection. Okay, based on what I'm seeing, okay, it should continue going higher because this is reaccumulation. There was a buying that went on in here. This small consolidation, right? That was buying that went on last week. Okay, from the weekly perspective, in future I'll talk more about this area. But again, early birds, once you get into the portal, then you get that knowledge. And there's something that was going on in here, and I'll talk about it. But that's a reaccumulation, right? So it shouldn't come back down like that. I don't think that's what's going to happen. But they can close this candle bullish, and then tomorrow and Wednesday can be another reaccumulation, and then we expand higher again. Okay, remember I said that the impulse can have 3 candles. So now we have printed 3 candles. They can have one more, which will be the fourth, and then a down or 2 down candles, and then we continue going higher. So crude oil should, by what I'm seeing, should continue going higher. Right, so we're aiming for the 80.15 upside objective. That will be for now. Okay, we will continue going higher, but for now we are aiming for 80.15. So today probably there's no an entry. Last week I got an entry here, this candle. Once it dropped, I actually got in, and my trade took my profit this morning. I didn't like the 1 hour rejection this month. I didn't like it, so I closed the trade. But I'll look for another entry, maybe um, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. It depends. But this is where I got in. Right, I got in on that candle, and then I got out here. Okay, so I'm looking for continuation to the upside based on the target that I gave you. That's why I got in, because it didn't get there. It got the rejection, and then as it rejected, and it was going up, I bought it right there because I knew that it wasn't going to give any kind of bigger pullback. It only dipped into the H4 gap, this one here, and then quickly rejected. Now, if you follow on the H4, okay, this is another reaccumulation. So we don't want to see them trade through that. So the down candle that might print on the daily should not breach this area. The down candle that will print on the daily, like this, okay, should not breach this area, because that will be the down candle, right? We don't want them to breach any down candle on the H4, a big down candle like that on the H4. So if the daily starts printing, it might print a down candle like this in here. Okay, we might print a down candle like this, and then we should resume going higher. I love crude oil, so keep an eye on it because we are going higher for now. Okay. All right. Let's move on to now. Maybe some of you have noticed I don't really talk about ES. There's a reason why, and that reason is for me to talk about it. I will need to look at ES, Nasdaq, and then the Dow, the 3 of them. but I don't have much time and it's not my specialty. I don't like trading them. Um, for some reason, it's one of those that I don't really like trading, even though I have ES here. One of my students trade ES, so that's why I used to teach about price action. But I personally don't like trading ES, so I don't have much experience trading it. Okay, that's why you don't hear me talk about it, because I don't want to give you something that I'm not sure. But if there is a nice trade idea that shows itself, and I see in the background, when I come, I will share it. Right now, it's just doing something that I don't understand, so I stay away. But definitely, when I do see something that is interesting, I'll bring your attention to it. Okay, you can see I do have some practice trading on. I do practice trading it, but not trading exactly, putting live funds on it. No, right now, no. In the past, I did, and I did get burned because it's not my specialty. I've always struggled trading the indices, so I stay away. Okay, you have to understand which market makes sense to you, and then you trade it. Sometimes there are certain fundamentals on certain asset classes that if you are not familiar with them, you will get beaten up. That's why with the cryptos I mentioned, if you want to trade them, just understand the fundamental behind it, and then you can trade it. Okay. So ES, maybe we'll talk about it, but not now, in future in the portal. If someone wants me to look at it and see what it's trying to do, I will do it. Okay. Now let's go and look at the crypto market. Let's start with Bitcoin. Now, we had an interesting weekend. Saturday, price did nothing. Sunday, price did nothing. And then Monday, a quick sharp move to the downside. Now, the move that has happened now, this down candle on the daily, on the H4, you can see how aggressive it is. Okay, you can see how aggressive it is. That is how I want to see when price is about to reverse. Okay, this is how I want to see when price is about to reverse, because the move down should be so aggressive that everybody will be scared to buy it. Okay, sorry, I had to drink some little bit of water. The move down should be so aggressive that everybody should be scared to buy it, or everybody should be, afraid to even look at it, because the numbers, if you look at these numbers, they're all red, right? So it scares buyers away and it invites sellers. And when it invites sellers, it means that someone has to buy when sellers are in. And those buyers will be the big money, because that's where basically they can get their orders filled. If you don't understand, I think go back through last week's sessions. I won't repeat it again. So I would want to see an aggressive rejection from here. I think last week I said, as soon as we go below the low, I want to see a quick rejection. We did have it, but I spoke about the move, that it wasn't smart money move. This wasn't smart money move, especially with this up candle here. Now, this is the difference. Okay, when it's about to go up, look at the way there was up candles here, and then this down candle, and then the move up to the upside happened. That is not how the buy happens. It happens this way. Okay, now I also gave a tip that if you want to understand, just go back and then study reverse engineer. If you understand reverse engineering, go back and do reverse engineer. Study everywhere price turn around, okay, on all time frames, and then you see it has a specific way that it turns around, right? So when you're expecting price to turn around, you want to see that thing. If you don't see it, then it's not ready to go up or down, depending on the direction, right? So that's why last week when we met here, I said this is not how smart money moves higher, because it's not aggressive enough. The move to the downside, this one here, is not aggressive enough. It needs to be so fearful that everybody will be scared to buy it. That is the time to buy. I'm not saying buy now, okay? Far from it. I'm not convinced yet because of how price has consolidated here. I'm not convinced yet. However, if it's going to go up, this is the kind of move I would want to see. The up candle, which I spoke about, that will become the breaker, needs to be there. And then the aggressive move to the downside also needs to be there. That wasn't here. So that's what I was hinting at last week. And I was hinting at it the same on, I think, AI here. Okay, that's what I was hinting at on AI last week. If you go back and watch last week's session, I think on Friday, I did not say it, but I said who knows. And when I was saying that, I was just implying that because of this up candle, there was going to be an aggressive move to the downside. And I just said who knows. Okay, you can go and listen to it last week. I didn't want to say sell, but I just hinted on it. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. Now, if we are to go up, first signs of price going up is for us to breach this high. Because when we drop like this, okay, especially this candle has created what ICT calls a void. Okay, void. Now, if they can breach that void, especially this candle's law, if they can breach that, then they will break the high. Okay, the location of it doesn't give me. If we were, for example, inside the range like this, if we were inside a range like this low and this high, and price did that here, okay, what is happening on Bitcoin? If we were inside the range and price did that here, I would buy exactly where we are right now. Okay, because the aggressive move to me is a sign that they're going up. So the location, I think I've spoke about it. The location is always important, right? I don't like the location where it's happening. So I would require price to give me more in terms of confirmation, more hint or more, I would say, signatures to prove that price is going to go up. Hence, I would want to see them breach this candle's low and then probably go above that candle's high. If I see that, then it's more meaningful. It means that price might go higher. Okay, it's more meaningful and price might go higher. Okay, so if that's the case, then you need to sit on your hands and wait. Okay, wait for price to give you that. It doesn't mean even when we go up here, it doesn't mean it's going higher, but I would prefer that in terms of waiting for a confirmation instead of me buying here, because it's still bearish, by the way. So buying here, it's not as great idea. If we were inside the range as I just showed you on gold, then yes, buying here will be absolutely the best entry. All you need to do is just be confident and hold it. But the location right now is not good. Okay, so because of the location, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. So just sit on your hands and wait. As a buyer, sit on your hands and wait, because I don't think price is ready to go up yet. If you're a seller, sit on your hands right now, because the drop is a sign that something is going to happen in terms of buys. But I'm not calling it yet. So sit on your hands and wait. Let them give a good reason that they're gonna go higher. Then you can. So breaching this candle's low, which is 93.229.24, and that candle's high, which is 93.612. That will be a good level so that we can get at least confidence price has rejected a previous month low. All right. Now, if you look on the daily, I personally don't like the fact that they printed an up candle here. Okay, I don't like it, but I'm watching it from a weekly perspective. Okay, I'm watching it from a weekly perspective. So on the weekly, I would want to see them immediately reject and then go up. We don't need to stay down here. Now, we are going to be here all week. So what I'm saying, we will still be here. So we will be monitoring it. But if the week closes as it is, then the upside, we have to wait. If the week closes as it is, then the upside, we have to wait. We can project the up candle and then aim for lower prices. So the buyers will have to sit on their hands for some time and let the sellers reign. So if the week closes below, even the day, I wouldn't want to see the day close below it. Because if the day closes below it, we have closed below a previous week low, and that is not a good sign. Okay, so then the buyers will have to wait and let the sellers, because it's both ways. You can be a buyer and make money, you can be a seller and make money. You don't always have to be a buyer to make money. So then the sellers can also make some money as price moves lower. Okay, so watch today's candle. If we close below previous week low, then you can use the level that I just gave on the H4 as your stop loss. If the day closes bearish below previous week low, then you can use this candle's high as a stop loss, or probably put it this one and then aim for the projection to the downside. Okay, or liquidation point, and then aim for the levels that I just showed you, the projection to the downside. You can use that as downside objective, because the up candle in here, to me, that's redistribution, and redistribution happens 2 or 3 times when it's going down. So this might be the first area of redistribution, and then we might have 3 or 2 down candles. Then we will have a second area of redistribution, and then we go down 2 or 3 down candles. Then we might look for a reversal. That is why absolutely have to reject from this low. If we don't, then upside, we have to sit on our hands and wait. Okay. So yeah, that is the Bitcoin market for you. Solana, we have come for that low. As I mentioned, it was too clean and they've tapped it. So we are looking for, I think, the weekly. We do not want to see them trade through this. Okay, so again, similar story. We want to see a quick rejection and then we start going higher from this low, or maximum this candle's high. Okay, maximum that candle's high. We need to reject the up candles that were printed. Remember, I was saying I would rather not see them print up candles, because up candles are redistribution, and when that is happening, it means that the whole move. Listen, when price is dropping, down candles, it's a sign that smart money is buying or institutions are buying. The moment you see an up candle come in the mix, then the drop is not actually a buy, it's them selling, and then they're selling more. Okay, so when price is dropping, for you to know there is a buy, then you don't want to see any up candle in the mix, because that's not how they buy. When price is about to reverse, again, go back and do reverse engineering and then see wherever price is reversing from. you will see just continuous down candles or continuous up candle, and then the reversal happen. You just have to switch time frames to see sometimes this pattern here, because they might be buying on the weekly, they might be buying on the daily, they might be buying on the monthly, depending on which one they are buying from. But whichever time frame they are buying or selling, there is going to be a series of that direction candles. So if they are going to sell, it will be a series of up candles. If they are going to buy, it's going to be a series of down candles. No up candle in the mix. And then when it's going to sell, up candles, no down candles in it. Okay. So when they print these up candles in here, then this drop is actually not a buy, but rather selling. So you can start, they started selling here and they are selling more in here, and they might sell more. Okay. But this can be where a reverse is as well. Why? Because if the buy is on the higher time frame, and that's why I'm saying you have to change the time frame sometime to see which one they are using to buy. If the buy is on a higher time frame, then yes. All that I'm saying is, let me clean this. Okay. If the buy is going to be on a higher time frame, then this down candle, and then this will be the candle that reverses, and then you go all the way up and close above this, and that candle will be the buy, because we have actually traded to this down candle. And that's why we don't want to see this candle also close as a down candle, because if they do, then they might go and attack this low. If this candle closes bearish this week, they might go and attack this low. Okay. And it starts with the daily. So today is a crucial day for the cryptos. Okay. We need crypto. Someone, if you know someone with lots of money, tell them to come and buy it back up again. If not, then those that are in the buy are going to struggle. Okay, let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum has also gone for the low, and I mentioned that this one is too clean. I don't like it. They're going to take that one as well. So 3016.04, I think they're going to clean that one as well. So that'll be easy target. So if you do trade this, I think it's just there. You can look for a trade to go and attack it. Maybe leave your stop loss above maybe this up candle, and then let them wipe that equal lows away. Okay. Now with Ethereum, let's look on the higher time frame. Yeah, we could use this range, even though it's not a great range, right? Let me use the OTE. Okay. You can see we have the 618 right there, the 79. So we should expect something to come in here. So again, this week it's crucial this week's candle for all the cryptos. It's very important for this week not to close as a down candle. Okay, so if you're watching and you trade cryptos and you're a buyer, hope and pray this week does not close as a down candle, because if it does, then yeah, we will have to wait a little bit more before we can start looking for a buy. So if you are a speculator, if you buy and sell, then yes, you can sell. But if you are just a buyer, then just go on holidays and come back later. That's what I can say. So Ethereum, we are looking for 3,016.04 next downside objective. And pretty much, yeah, they might drop into this candle's high as well. So 2,982.75. Yeah, they might drop down there as well. So that's where we want to see potential something coming again this week's candle. I like the fact that it came down first. Okay, if it went up first, then that was no good. But I like the fact that it's coming down first. So between tomorrow and Wednesday, if we get a big candle coming back up, then there is hope. We might start looking for potential buy. Okay. But again, I'm here. When I see it, I'll let you know. AI, I think AI, I said I didn't want to see the weekly close below that week. And if they do, then that's not good. We can project this candle to the downside and then aim for 618. They've breached that. So next downside, two, they can't reach for two. On the weekly, if they go for two, it's not good. It's not good. So in here, this candle and that candle will be now our range. So we should see something form right where we are or at this candle's high. We should see something. Some buyers should step in. So keep an eye. I think something will happen this week. I'm pretty sure. Okay. And I like the way this one is dropping. Notice that there's no up candle in here. That is perfect. That is how, if it's a buy, that is how you want to see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've overextended. So something will come in. Let me see on the H4. Yeah. Currently, where we are right now, I would want to see something happen. Okay, I would want to see something happen right now, or this level, that's the weekly gap, that's where it will close in. So I want to see something happen there, right there. So here or here, something coming. So keep an eye on it. The first sign will be a close above a H4. You want to see a big candle close back above a H4. That will be the perfect sign of a buy. Okay. So AI, watch that. Let's look at hype, and then we look at Tatsuo.
Yeah,
Interesting that one.
I don't mean to pause or cut you off or anything. I just something kind of important that I noticed on watching some of the ECN feeds on different brokers on the FX side. So with there was a couple of brokers that trade ETH that on the 4 hour chart around I think it was January 8th they dropped it to 2150 area. And I don't think it's on TradingView. It's on the I tried finding something to show you an example, but it's interesting to note that some of the ECN feeds had some of that manipulation going on. So I wanted to kind of drop that in there.
Is it cryptos you're talking about?
Crypto's on FX broker.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They will manipulate.
yeah. So yeah, but it's interesting because I'm wondering and do some further analysis, but I'm wondering what kind of what the correlation is with that manipulation, right?
Yeah, yeah. FX brokers will always manipulate. That's how they make their money. So don't be surprised when they do it.
Yeah, it's just crazy to notice how they manipulated by so much as if no one
They
would.
will, because
Yeah, I know,
they
right?
that's what makes their business, attractive, because that's how they make their money, by doing those manipulations. So
I
you
can.
just have to understand that they will. So
Yep.
don't be very, very cute trying to put your stop losses, they will kill you. So when you're going for brokers, try and go for reputable ones, right? Those that are because they don't want their image tarnished, right? So if someone is aggressive, they can report them and then actually sue them. I think in the past, FXCM, not mentioning names, but FXCM got sued, right? Because of that kind of manipulation. So if you go with reputable brokers, then yes, they do want to hold an image, right? And based on the image that they want to hold, they wouldn't manipulate. They will, but not so much. But if you go in for these average Joe broker, you're dead. And those are the ones most people go for because they're going to give you leverage. We'll talk about that in future anyway. Yeah, so I think I was on hype. Hype, yes. Hype. I was expecting, I liked this candle here. This move to the downside. Again, aggressive up candle, big aggression. So I was watching to see if this H4 candle can go and close above that. But I couldn't. So on the daily, it's not looking good because of all these up candles. However, it's trading at an interesting area, which is the OTE area. So I'm watching this gap and that gap. Those are the two levels that when price gives this pattern, now you all know the pattern, okay? Into that area, something should happen. So the first thing, as I mentioned, is the H4 giving you a big rejection, closing above a down candle, or if you are patient enough, let them give one more and then create a fair value gap. Then you can start looking for the buy. So as it stands, we've not given anything yet. So watch this area here where I've highlighted these two areas. That's where you want to see the reversal coming. If we don't reverse from here, problem. Okay, so here and there. So we did get a big rejection, not great because the move towards it was not great. So this was the move. Let's see if they can close. If not, then they will come and do it down here and then look for the buy. So as it stands, I think sellers should be out, buyers should be out. Just watch and then see. Let's go and look at Tatuo. And then I have a bit of um I have a bit of small 5 minute speech to make. I want to be quick. So Tatuo, we did go for the projection that we did. This high to this low, this 618, right? So they went for the 618. We projected this, I think the Fed, before even price got up here. Right? Price was trading here, and then we projected that they were coming to go for 0.55155 and then 0.8426, right? So they have gone for the 618. Now, if we are bearish, then this is where it will reverse and then go down, all the way down. But we are not. So this will be a pullback. Now, when I was developing, I was doing a lot of back testing a lot of theories. When we get price to reject the 618, I think I'll share this in the portal for everyone to also take advantage of it. But when price reverses from the 618, okay, most of the time, I love using, I wish I had it on the other one because I need this, but I will have to do it quickly on that one. So when you have price trading above the fib extension and we get to the 27, most times if you see it retracing, it comes down to either 0.25 and then 0.50 and then resumes going higher. Okay. If we get it reversing from the 618, if we get it reversing, let's say price trade above your extension level and it trades to the 618, you want it to reverse from 0 or 25 and then resume going higher. Okay, that's based on when I was again developing and I was back testing stuff. That's what I saw. So when it gets to 6127, the extension level, and then it's coming back down, it's either is going to reverse at 2 or 5, the 0.25 or 5, and then resume going higher. If it comes to the 618, then it reverses at either the 0 or it comes to the 0.25 and then goes higher. So that's all. I don't have that levels. Okay, that's why I did it on that. So if you can do it, you want to see the 0.25, or in some instances, it will be your 0.75, depending on how you place the fib. So yeah, if you do pull your fib this way, if you pull it this way, then it will be the 0.75. If you pull it that way, then it will be the 2.5. So if you can do those levels, okay, then you'll be expecting the swell to reverse from 0.75 or 0.25, which is roughly where we are, because this would be, yeah, roughly 75 would be somewhere in here. I'll do it next time for tomorrow. Okay, I don't have time to do it, but that's where you want to see it reverse from and then continue going higher. So we have the luck to have a down candle here, right? So we want to see a reversal coming here. And if you've been following, last week we spoke about price going higher from here. I think, no, somewhere in here. This one, the down candle. Let's go to the H4. Last week we said we wanted to see price reverse from this gap. And if you don't reverse from there, then there's a problem. And then you saw that big move that came in. Today, the same thing. We need to reverse from this down candle. If we don't, then there's a problem. We also have a small gap in there, so we should be reversing from here, right? So in terms of the extensions that I just gave you, the 0.25 or 0.75 is roughly in that area, okay? So we can use this down candle now as our dealing range, this low to this high. And that will give us exactly our 79 retracement level for price to reverse from. So where we are now, I'm not surprised to see buyers come in, okay? So in terms of entry techniques, I would just buy where we are right now and then place my stop loss right below this candle's low. And then I'll expect them to go high again. Okay? Because if they go below this candle's low, then forget it, it's going to go lower. Or sit on your hands and wait, let them close above this last down candle. I like the way we have this up candle and then all these move down. Again, you can see the signature. It's always there. The up move, the move down, and then the rejection, right? So this H1 is looking very, very nice. So if I was a trader on Tattoo, I'm buying right here, and then I'll leave my stop loss there, and I'll expect price to go higher. Okay, so that's Tattoo for you. We are expecting continuation to the upside
It's
from where
all.
we are now.
Sorry about
All right, so I think pretty much that's it. Um, is there any
that.
question from the audience before I go on a 5 minute rant?
You know what? We're not going to take questions only because SP DOS is going to be doing the 9:30. But yeah,
Okay,
feel
okay.
go ahead and do your thing, brother.
All right, cool. Um, so as part of the things that we'll be discussing in the portal, today I'm just gonna give a small brief introduction. Um, what I'm talking about is the idea of belief. What you believe, okay, is so important. And if you are someone that, pay attention, or you are someone that you observe, that's the big word. Be an observant. Just observe things and you understand more than you've been taught in your whole life. Just be an observer. Have you noticed that the whole world, people believe in different things, and it actually works. What I'm saying is, if someone believes in, let's use religion. If someone believes in Christianity, right, it works for them. If someone believes in Islam, it works for them. If someone believes in, I don't know, a river god, it works for them, right? Then there's something about it, about belief, that needs to be understood. And that is, we human beings, we are not actually the body. We are more than the body. We are very, very powerful to the extent that whatever we choose to believe creates a reality for us to experience, because you are a creative being, right? You're a creative being. So your belief actually creates a reality for you to experience. And a collective belief also creates a reality for the collective to believe in. So that's why if collectively people believe in something happening, it will happen. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about collective belief right now. I'm talking about the individual belief right now. You need to take care of what you believe in, because if you are not careful, your belief, okay, is going to limit you. Because when you believe in something and you don't believe in another thing, what you don't believe in, you are not going to experience it, simply because that is how reality is. Okay, you cannot believe, not believe in something and then expect to experience it. Same, it comes down to even trading. If you don't believe that you're going to be successful, there's no way you'll be successful, right? But I want to make it a broad topic that look within you, look in your life. Whatever you are not experiencing, it means that you don't believe that you will experience it. End of period. It's very subtle, and it requires you to be an observer. So observe your life and then see what is limiting in your life, or what is limited in your life, because that limitation is coming from a point of you not believing in that thing. And the moment you can, pay attention to that area of your life and start working on why you're being limited in that area, then begin to believe. And that's all it requires, because the belief will shape a reality for you to experience. It's so powerful that it goes right on top of everybody's head, because again, we live in a world that we are always constantly being bombarded with stuff. We don't pay attention to ourselves, the things that is going on in our inner world. Okay, so what is going within you. You need to pay attention to those things, and you begin to see that everything that you want to do is possible. And I will end with this quote by, I think it was Henry Ford. He said, if you think you can do something, or you think you cannot do something, you are right. And I changed it a little bit. If you believe you can do something, or you think, or you believe you cannot do something, you are right. The choice is yours. Okay. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you very much, IT. That was great. If I can add to that, I mean, it's uh, we're like conditioned to not accept friction and take the least path of resistance towards things, and that's kind of like even if you start to you can kind of like almost double speak it. You could believe in something or have the motivation to do something, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to go against the grain and accept the pain that it takes to get through those moments. It's that's one of the things. It's like there's there's something on the other side of that pain, and that's the opposite of it. So if you're like accepting pleasure all the time and that's all you're accepting, and you're riding the dopamine high, and you're riding whatever the chart high is, and then you're not willing to accept that it's going to end at some point, and then you're going to have to ride the low for a little bit, right? That's part of that pain. That's part of that process. Same with the flip side. If you're riding the cell and you're riding that dopamine high, the rush, but then you have to accept it's going to come to an end, it's going to reverse, and and yeah, that's I don't know. It's kind of interesting to look at how there's a lot of correlation between that kind of stuff. Like I was doing I was at the gym the other day listening to what's his name, David Goggins, and that's exactly the kind of stuff he was saying. He's like, you gotta be able to deal with pain and accept it, right? Deal with pleasure and accept it in a responsible manner, right? And that belief is dealing with both of those things, not just one, right?
Mm,
That's where that belief really starts to work, right?
yeah. And just to add and finish off for that, it's part of the, I think, Hermetic principles, right? One of the Hermetic principles is that we live in a world where we have extremes. So we have love, we have hate, we have good, we have bad, and we have something called the law of rhythm. Okay, everything is in a rhythm. Nothing stays consistent. Nothing is consistent. Nothing is permanent. It's a rhythm. It swings from one point to the other. Okay, so you're gonna swing from pain to joy, and then from joy to pain, or pain to happiness, and then from happiness to pain. So when you understand that principle in life, you're always going to want to be in the middle and then be an observer. So when pain is coming, you know that there's going to be what? Joy. And then when joy is coming, you be aware so that when pain comes in, you're not going to kind of struggle because you understand that it's a rhythm. It's not going to be always pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Not in this world, okay, not on this planet. It's never going to happen. At some point, it's going to swing back. So understand that there is dynamics in this life that everything is in a rhythm. Okay, emotions are in a rhythm. Mental state is also in a rhythm. Everything is moving, constantly flowing, and it moves from one point to the other. So when you are experiencing pain today, there's no that there's going to be pleasure or happiness. Wherever the opposite is to pain is, the opposite will come at some point. Just believe. And being an observer is the good place to place yourself. Just be in the middle so that you're always going to be experiencing whatever comes. And that's the best place to be. Don't get caught into being in here because when you're in here, it's so painful, you don't see that side coming. Anyway, I think if I go on, I'll go on a rant.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Um, yeah, always a pleasure. And just yeah, why don't we end it here? And then SB is coming up in about 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
we'll whole different market perspective, of course, more classical, traditional style of trading. But yeah, make sure this is the thing is we're looking for confluence points, we're looking for divergences in different market perspectives, and that's super important. It's the best way is to have this overarching market analysis, but yeah, definitely institutional footprints are the most amazing thing that we can start to understand and analyze and back test. That's the totally the cream of the crop, so to speak, right?
Awesome. I'll see you all guys tomorrow.
Take care, brother.
All right.